Please pray for me. My mind is not settled. Please don't tell anybody so that if nothing happened, I won't be laughed at, said Oluwabamise Toyosi Ayanwola. Those were the words of the lady that was killed in the BRT on a Saturday, February 26, 2020. The said Bamishe's whereabouts is now known since she boarded the Lagos popular known BRT at the Chevron area of Lekki en route to Oshodi on the February 26, 2020. It was a Saturday. This is what exactly happened. A report gathered that the Ekiti State indigene boarded the bus at 7:30 p.m. and became suspicious when the yet to be identified driver. The driver has been identified, and in fact, the driver had been arrested. The driver told her to sit at one of the back seats. A source who did not want to be named said Bamishe, who became uncomfortable, sent out voice notes and a short video clip to express her concern to one of her friends. On her way home, the driver picked up 2 men and 1 woman, she said. This made her calm down a bit. Then she told us she would arrive at Oworonshoki. She called her and noticed something was unusual about the way she was talking. We tried to reach out to her again, but her phone was unreachable. Then we waited a bit, thinking it was probably due to a low battery, only for our parent to contact us on Sunday that Bamishe wasn't at home yet. Since then, we have been at the Oshodi BRT Terminal 3. We were told to sit and wait for the driver to come. The driver did not show up, the source added. In a series of voice note exchanges between Bamishe and a friend, which was shared on social media, she was heard telling the friend in Yoruba that the bus stopped to pick her up, but did not pick other passengers. Sensing danger, she was said to have made a short video showing the silhouette of a driver and what looked like the vehicle number. Still on what really happened, a report gathered that an eyewitness saw a BRT bus on that particular night dropping off or throwing out a body that was naked. And he also mentioned that before she was thrown out, she was shouting for help before she later gave up and threw her out of the BRT bus, and another jeep that was together with the bus drove off instantly. And immediately the eyewitness went to the nearby police station to report the case, and the police took the body to the morgue. Since then, the family have been running helter skelter, and just a few days ago, since February 26, the family raised alarm when the video she made and sent to her friend went viral. Questions began to raise. The family even went to the terminal and find exactly the number she was referring to in that video, the number that she videoed. They found the bus that had that number. And luckily, every BRT bus has a special number. Once a number, for this particular bus, it is 240257. This number cannot be repeated. This number cannot be used by any other bus. It is a unique number. And so, because this number has a particular driver, the hunt for the driver began. Luckily, the guarantor that stood for the driver was arrested. As the guarantor was arrested, the police investigation continued. They began to look for the driver. They went to the driver's home. They couldn't find the driver. They were told the driver has changed his address. It is already 2 weeks since this has happened. Finally, today, the driver has been caught up. The driver has been arrested. The police public relations officer in the state, Adekunle Ajisebutu, made this known in a chat even as he confirmed that the dead body of the lady has been found. The driver of the BRT has been arrested. Ajisebutu stated. He also said that the killers of the Ayanwola who got missing in the transit while on board the bus would face justice. According to the PPRO, the abductors dumped the remains of the lady on the Kata Bridge by Agugore community. The Punch learned that Ayanwola got missing while returning to Alta from Ajah on February 26 when she boarded a BRT bus with number 240257 going to Oshodi at about 7 p.m. at Chevron. It was gathered that the victim worked as a fashion designer at Chevron Estate, Ajah, and she spent a weekend in Ottawa State with her sister. You see, the most interesting part of the story is that we need to really learn from this a whole lot. It was a sad event. The moment I started looking at the whole event before it was announced that the driver has been arrested, I checked the time. This happened 26th of February and up until now. This is not a kidnap issue. If it is a kidnap issue, within 24 hours, the family would have been contacted. But the family was never contacted. And for this long, what has been done would have been done. The deed is already done. And not quite long, I waited to see if I can get some other facts. And this fact came out that she had been founded on that very day when she got missing. In fact, all of this took place within 1 hour. Let's go to the factors that surrounding what really made it possible for her to fall into this trap and how we should always look out for this loophole. First, the Lagos BRT bus, before you can board it, you need a special card, a bus card that you need to buy and load credit on it. Say for instance, you want to go for a journey that costs 500 naira. You need to buy and load the card with at least 500 naira. And for you to enter that bus, you need to use it on a particular device before you can enter. So, and a lot of people raise the issue where she was supposed to have boarded that bus. They said it is not a bus park. That is, rarely do they pick passengers at that particular point. While some said yes, they've entered or boarded bus at some other point apart from the bus park at Aja. So, how did she enter the bus? The BRT bus is a question. She was having a card. Have she loaded a card before? Yes. Some load card previously. Some like load a month card. They already know that they're going to. This is since she was going from work to another place. So some load for a month worth of card. So probably she already have done that. Yes, she has loaded. She entered the bus. But in the video, it was clear that the bus was totally dark. There was no light. Of course, she could have said, "Why is there no light?" And the driver would quickly say, "The lights are faulty." Yes, she kept quiet on that. But seeing some other things, like the driver is not stopping, picking other people up, she was beginning to raise alarm. She began to tell someone, "This is what is happening. I'm about to know what is happening. I'm scared. My mind is not settled. Please don't share this video because in case if nothing happened, I won't be laughed at." But look at us all now, crying, wailing, demanding for justice for Oluwabamise Toyosi Ayanwola. It is indeed a sad story. The particular place they dumped her, the Carter Bridge, that whole area is an area that is by the normal day business. That place is always busy. But that time of the night, you can hardly find a soul around that area. But fortunately, there was an eyewitness that saw her being thrown out of the BRT bus. It was mentioned because initially the BRT bus were saying no, they don't think their bus, that could have happened with their bus. But sources are revealing that yes, this happened in the BRT bus. Like I mentioned earlier, there are flags, red flags, showing that something is amiss. She saw it and she started raising alarm. But in a normal, sane society, she would have called 911. But where are the 911 that she could have been talking to at that moment? No 911. Because if she had a 911, she would have instead called a 911. Or if she had called the friend she was talking to, the friend she was talking to would have called the 911 immediately. Connect to the 911 immediately. Whether something happened or not, that is not the issue. The issue is you feel unsafe, you feel insecure, raise the alarm. I tend to see a lot of people do this when I go on the street. I may not be living in a very busy place, but when I walk on the street, I see young ladies, particularly, I notice that with them. They don't look at the oncoming person. They don't look at the person coming. They are so preoccupied with their mind somewhere else. Most times they are looking on the floor. Other times they are so concentrated on their mobile phones instead of trying to look around. Be vigilant. And when you see anything amiss, raise alarm. Not just on the phone. Shout. Shout it out. Be violent about it. Make sure you cause commotion. Make sure You demand for your freedom, not silently, because if you are silent about it, this may be what will happen. The family has a lot to bear. May God give the family the fortitude to bear this loss. The entire family of Ayanwola, and may her soul rest in perfect peace. If this is your first time welcome to our channel, kindly click on the red subscribe button. Stay blessed, keep safe. Bye for now.